Good morning. I'm Michael Melton from Letcher County Central High School. I'm the athletic administrator there. I also teach teach three classes. My cohort, Miss Rebecca Potter, is over in D right now getting ready to do hers. They've got us both at the same time. What this is a documentary process, and not to get into reading this too much, last year we decided, we sent in a proposal to try to do a grant, get the grant to do a documentary. Last year's project was Piling Up Stones, a collection of mountain memories and wisdoms. We felt that there was a need in our area in southeastern Kentucky in the Appalachian region to try to record our oral history. There was a lot of great individuals that we felt that were in our area that were just people didn't know about. They'd done a lot of great things and nobody knew, and we felt that there was a lot of stereotypes that were out there that were very negative towards Appalachia. And we, being from Appalachia, realized that there's a lot of great things about where we live. So we completed that documentary last year. We learned a lot in the process. So this year we sent a grant proposal in to complete another documentary, and that's the one that we come up with, Heroes on Every Hand They Just Never Told Us. Because in the process last year, as we started going through and interviewing people, we realized that a lot of the people from our area had done a lot of great things. They just never had told anybody what they had done because they just expected that everybody else would have done the same things. So that's kind of where we were at. This is in conjunction with Miss Potter's journalism class. And the first year, last year, a lot of the work, Miss Potter and I did a lot of the work ourselves because we're in the process of learning how to use the editing equipment and also teaching students to film and do interviews and those types of things. So this year it's even become more student intensive, that they are doing the work, they're more actively engaged, and that was the hope of the whole project as we went through. Let's see. And of course, going through, we discussed interviewing techniques and cinematography, how to set up an interview. Our goal was not to have the interviewers' voices in there. We want to listen to what the interviewees are saying. So trying to make sure that we don't have as much of ourselves in the documentary as possible. And of course, we had a lot of repeat students that had participated last year, so that helped out a whole lot. And of course, some things that they've been introduced to, the digital age journalism, filmmaking, visual performance, and understanding the way that all these things tie together, and also focusing how to edit film and pick out the major key parts and how to embed it into the video is important. This is, he's no longer with us, but this is Arnold Mullins. We interviewed him last year. He was a World War II veteran. And we were very fortunate to get him just before, a couple months before he actually passed away. He was 95. Here's some pictures of our students doing some filming. And of course, I had to drop a picture or two to get this over here. And of course, we use transportation to go to the nursing home and some other places. We bought a lot of equipment. The amazing thing is that our smartphones are so good now and getting better that you don't have to buy a $500 and $600 camera in many cases, because the kids already have a $500 or $600 camera on their side. So if you can buy them the equipment to be able to use their iPhones and their Samsungs and whatever, you can take that film and move it, download it onto your system. Of course, we used Adobe Creative Cloud for educators, and that has been a really good program for us. I'm still not really good at it, but we were blessed to have one of our students, and now a former student, that's coming back and doing a lot of the editing work, and she does a tremendous job. And if it hadn't been for her last year, we'd have probably never got it completed, but she's fabulous. And that was a great thing, because now we're getting more of our kids involved in the process of editing and producing and creating and looking at the technological aspects of it. Also that they're learning things from people in their community. Most of them chose a family member that they felt was a hero to them. And a lot of times when they sat down and began to interview them and talk to them about their lives, they learned things about them that really gave them a more genuine appreciation and love for the individual that they interviewed. We take a lot of people in our lives for granted, and we're in such a busy time today that we don't always sit down and talk, and getting children to sit down and talk with somebody that's important in their life, and them actually sit down and talk about their life and the hardships they went through and the things that they have accomplished and created and the things that they've done, gives us a much richer appreciation of those individuals. Let's see. And then I just added some pictures. We threw in some historical pictures from the region. These were from last year's ones, and I kept them in there. And this is kind of what we felt like through this whole process of collecting, and you all don't let me run over. We've done this whole process of collecting this oral history and these videos and things because we've got them stored now, and that's something that we've decided to kind of be a plan to kind of do this every year, because we feel like in the 21st century we've got to the point that we just look at the surface of things and we just go on past, and sometimes we don't think deeply about individuals and events in life. And I think that that's one of the goals, me being a historian also, wanting to put that stuff together, and maybe many years later after I'm gone or whatever, somebody can come back across that and look at that, and it may have some kind of impact on them. And of course, this is with schools in the 1960s. This is the I think of the Kona school, and of course this is the school that we're in now. So there's a little bit of a difference there, but the rest of it's just pictures and things, and I won't take any more time on that. But one of the things, we've not got it completely finished yet. We'll put it on YouTube. Last year's is on YouTube. If you want to go look up Piling Up Stones, it'll pull that documentary. We also learned that if you put something on YouTube, you have to be very careful with what descriptors you put in there, because you want to draw more people to it. This time we're going to make sure that we've got Appalachian in there, Appalachian history, culture, those types of things, that when somebody gets on YouTube and is doing a Google search or whatever, that's going to pull that up. I think that we kind of missed that last year, and of course it was a learning process. And this year's project is more based upon what the students' interviews and piecing them together, and letting those students share with what or why these people are heroes to them. Are there any questions? Thank you.